Base44, the tool that I use for building apps with AI, is having a competition where the prize is 10,000 bucks. The prompt is to build something that makes life easier for students. So I was thinking about life as a student, and ultimately the goal is to learn. And one of the best ways to learn is with study guides. And I say this for two reasons. The first is when you make a study guide, you learn. This is why teachers often say that they learn the most when they're actually teaching that content. Secondly, if you get a good study guide, you also learn, and it can be a pivotal tool for you in whatever you're doing. Quick aside, I used to have a study guide business back in high school with my friends Moritz and Seth. Moritz and I made the guides, and Seth was the business mastermind, actually distributing the guides. Eventually, the school actually shut us down because we were making such a killing on them. So, we have to remember that ultimately people learn in different ways. And I would say there's 3 different types of learners that I want to address in this tool. We have visual learners. We have, so they like images, diagrams, even videos in this day and age, whatever. Then you have auditory learners who listen from or they can listen to podcasts or discussions or even lectures, and they receive the information that way. And then you also have reading and writing learners, which are going to be those who like interacting with text. Maybe they're reading, maybe they're taking notes, whatever it is. Those are the 3 different types of user groups I want to address, the different types of students. And then to address those different learner types, we need to have 3 different types of study guides. So we will have video guides, we will have audio guides, and we will have text guides, basically PDFs. So video guides for visual learners, audio guides for auditory learners, and text guides for reading and writing learners. Basically, I'm going to build a simple and very specific social network for students. And it's not going to be it's not going to be school specific. It could be any person, it could be any school, and it could be any topic. Also, like in the modern day and age, everyone is a student, right? We learn in so many more ways than just school. So really, this platform could be for any sort of student. Now, I want to say that when students are creating and uploading study guides, they can use AI. They absolutely can use AI. AI is a great way to polish things up, because even though AI might be polishing things up, ultimately everybody knows that even AI generated content is garbage without a human providing a good prompt underneath it. So I'm also saying it's okay to use AI because ultimately it's the social proof that matters. So basically humans saying this is good and this is not, that's what matters. And we will have social proof on this app. Social validation makes the world go round. So we need ways for students to encourage one another in this experience. And there's going to be 2 key social actions in this experience. 1, students can say, "Ooh, this looks promising." And basically this is a like. And we will use the finger crossing emoji for this. So students can say, "Ooh, this looks promising." And it's their way of being like, "Oh, I think this might be good." The other social action that users can take on this network are, they can say, "This is actually helping me right now." And this, you could actually link on your profile. That's actually how you'll do it. It's not like you won't be liking it or commenting, no comments on this experience. Basically, if you say, "I'm actively using this study guide right now," and you can only select up to 3 study guides, it will go at the top of your profile. And it's not your own study guides that are at the top of your profile, it's other people's study guides that you are finding particularly useful will be at the top. There's plenty of enhancements we could do in the long term, but I'm going to focus on this for now. And yeah, this is the idea that I've been just kind of noodling on in the back of my head. And I took this idea and I went first to ChatGPT because I wanted to get a good prompt before going to Base44. And I gave it this prompt, which I will probably just like copy paste it for the sake of the video. I'm not going to read it to you. Basically, it just says everything I just said. And I like gave it a really messy idea. And then I said, "Can you polish this as well as tell me anything you think is missing?" It told me like future enhancements, but I don't want that. Honestly, the most value it provided was the polishing. I really think of ChatGPT as my partner who straightens my bow tie before I leave the house. I am dressing myself, I am providing the idea, but ChatGPT is just straightening it up, just polishing it a little bit, which I find is the most effective way to use AI. Now, I'm gonna give this prompt to Base44 right now in real time as you watch me to actually see if Base44 is as good as they say it is. Because they say, oh, you can build an app in 5 minutes. All right, let's see if I can do it. Let me move this. I want to move it to the side so I can maybe move it over here. What do we like better? Ah! Okay. I want to be on the side. Oh, guys, this is crazy. I'm not a natural content creator. Okay. I want you to see, and then I'm going to try to screen record it and actually put that here. So, it's QuickTime. Hold up, guys. Is it QuickTime? Yes. All right, I'm now recording. I'm gonna pop over here into the app concept, which this right here is the buttoned up version that ChatGPT gave me. So I'm gonna copy that and I'm gonna paste it directly in here, okay? Do I even wanna, I'm not even gonna review it, guys. I'm just gonna hit send it. By the way, if you haven't been following me at all, which there's no reason you should because I just announced this today. I have been using Base44 to create some other apps for a company I'm building. So I've currently built, I think 8 apps total on Base44, but 3 are good, and then 5 are just kind of kicking around. So this isn't my first rodeo, but I've only been using it for a couple weeks. All right, we're watching this in real time. All right, I'm gonna just read you some of the things I'm seeing here on the left-hand side. So in case this is new to you, the left-hand side is where I talk to the AI. The right-hand side is the UI that it's creating. I like Base44 for a bunch of reasons. I'll do a different video on that, but I'm gonna read you some of the things it said back to my prompt. Key features: study guide feed, study guide creation, study guide detail page, student profiles, social learning signals. Great, that's all the things I said. It has a design language. I said nothing about design, so it's putting that in, whatever. Component structure, basically that's just gonna reflect the features that we talked about. And then now it's just doing it. So you can see it created a study guide entity, it created a user entity, it created a layout, whatever. One thing I have found using, I guess, AI coding tools so far is obviously your prompt matters a lot. And I would say like your first few prompts matter a lot because you're setting the foundation for the structure of the database, for the terms that you use in the app, whatever. So I really wanted to get that right. That's also why I obviously will workshop and play with the app in Base44 once I've seen it, but I want to try to get the initial prompt pretty strong and have like a good concept in my head because like AI is not very creative. It's just executing what I give it. It's polishing up what I give it. So that first seed is critical. Okay, we're 2 minutes in. Base44, how long is this going to take? In the meantime, I'll show you a little treat I bought for myself today. I bought this necklace and these earrings today. Walking around in Phoenix, I really like them. They're rainbowish. Rainbows are a big part of the company I'm building right now, so I'm pretty happy about them. Oh, another thing, I went to Starbucks like an hour ago. It's currently 5:30 in the afternoon. I went to Starbucks and ordered a decaf coffee, and I ordered a venti. I just wanted the flavor of coffee without any of the uppers, and they gave me a caffeinated coffee and I drank it, and now I feel like I have, I don't know, electricity in my blood, and I'm pretty unhappy about it, but whatever. Okay, so I'm seeing study feed, discover guide shared by the community. This is a video here at the top, audio, PDF, looks promising, okay? We're seeing this at the same time. Okay, so basically, yeah, what you can see the user who created it. Be interesting. I don't know if I want the user to be, I don't know if I want the user who created it visible on the study feed. Maybe, maybe not. Not sure. I don't think I need the date. Do want the looks promising. So the looks promising is the fingers crossed. It's giving some examples. Okay. I can, let's see, go to study feed. That's where I am. I can go to my profile. So it has my name. It has no bio yet. 5 guides created, 66. This looks promising. Fingers crossed received. Currently using. All right, we can see my guides. Oh, you know what I forgot? One of the key things in this is when I come over into, into the dashboard, app visibility. So it says public login required. Do I want people to be, basically there's 3 different ones. There's private, public login required, or public no login. I'm gonna do public login required because it's a little bit simpler. That way I don't have to figure out the login logic. Do I want that? I don't know, Base44, what's better for this kind of competition? I'll go ahead and leave it because it's simpler, and that way I don't have to figure out when to actually prompt the login logic. But if I were building this for product that I was shipping publicly, I would definitely do some sort of public, but I don't know which one I would do. The login required obviously means you have to log in as soon as you get there. The other one, you can use the app before you log in. All right, back to, you can see mine. All right, I'm gonna go back to preview. Honestly, first impression, Study Sync is what they called it. Social learning platform, create guide. All right, let's go through create guide. I can do a title, I can do a description. I don't even know if I want a description. We can leave it, whatever. And then I can do video, audio, or PDF. Honestly, it's probably pretty good. I have found that Base44 creates good multiplayer stuff. You get the first prompt right. I feel like I might just play with some of the colors and then maybe send it in. Anyways, hope you enjoyed watching. Hello. Okay, so I have made a handful of updates to the app since I recorded earlier. Just a few, but I want to recap them here. I'm also going to go ahead and show it on, or do a screen recording so you can see that not only does this app work on desktop, but it also works on mobile. So go ahead and set that up. All right, we are recording. So the first thing I did, which I'm pretty excited about, is I got it set up, this app. Well, to start, I've decided to name this app Mindshare. A couple different things. It's like a play on the idea that, like, people often use the word mindshare of like how much space is something taking up in your brain. Also, this platform is about social learning. So it's like sharing what you have in your mind with other people. So I really liked that metaphor of mindshare. I'm gonna go ahead, in addition to naming it, I set it up on my company domain, which I'm pretty excited about. So my company name is Rueda. So I'm typing in rueda.lol. You can come here, I see this Rueda or this wheel with a whole bunch of different apps. I'm gonna click on the bottom app, which is the brain icon. That is Mindshare. So when I tap into that, you can see the subdomain is mindshare.rueda.lol. It says, welcome to Mindshare, great. So I'm gonna log in with Birdie and Bailando. Cool, so bunch of updates were made, but I'll kind of recap them. First of all, it used to be a side navigation. I've gone ahead and changed it to a bottom navigation. So you can see here this anchored thing at the bottom. You have the feed on the left-hand side, the feed icon, and then you have the profile on the right-hand side. I wanted to take up less real estate by anchoring it at the bottom, and yeah, make it more about the content itself. Also, the create study guide button is obviously this big plus in the middle. It's that big call to action without actually using the words, because we all know that real estate on mobile devices is precious. I removed the dates from the study guide. So it used to be that each one was dated, and I've removed that because knowledge is timeless. And also, I don't want people to think that something, just because it's a certain date, it's better. Also, these are sorted in by newest, so you'll naturally get the freshest stuff at the top. And it would, of course, be interesting to play with the sort order in the future. I also removed the name from the, let me just turn on my do not disturb so my family chat doesn't go too crazy. Okay. I've removed the name, so now there's just an avatar icon. You can see here there's a little graduation cap for that particular avatar. I can also go to my profile and I can see this is Birding and Bailando. You can see my avatar. I have a little bio that I can edit there. I have changed overall the color scheme to be more warm and welcoming. When I come back to the feed here, you can see it's kind of like light and warm. I've also made pulled up thumbnails. So with the videos, I definitely have thumbnails that I'm pulling in. Right now with the PDFs and the audio, I just have like a visual indicator, but not the actual content itself embedded. Obviously, that's something you could have in the future. Just to give you an idea of what some of the study guides are that we have here. How chemical reactions work, how manufacturing works, how coffee is made, how ADHD works, how to make engaging podcasts, biology, cell structure, whatever. For each of these pieces of content, it indicates whether it's a video, audio, or PDF. Of course, you can see the looks promising there as well, which is the social vector we talked about earlier. So I can hit looks promising. Now that's like a Boolean that's been indicated for that. I can, let's see, tap into cell biology. I can be like, oh wow, this is interesting. You can see currently which students are using this. So as a reminder, if I go to my profile, on my profile, you can see my name, you can see how many guides I've created, how many this looks promising that I've received, which is basically how many likes I've received, and then how many people are currently using my guides. Here at the top, currently using, I have this golden section that actually shows up above my guide contributions. The currently using are those 3 basically pinned guides that you can have at the top. So I have pinned gravitational fields, English grammar lesson, and how ADHD works. Because those are the ones I'm telling the world, these are the ones I'm actually using right now. If, for example, I wanted to take one off, so I could take off the English grammar lesson, now I only have 2 pinned at the top, and I could put another one in there. So basically, this is a really good way to lift other creators up, people who are creating this different content, and yeah, create that motivation. Down below, you can see my contributions themselves. You can see how many this seems promising, basically the fingers crossed on each of the individual things, whatever. Yeah, made the colors more warm and welcoming. Overall, just simplified things. So this page is we call it the study guide details page. It shows you the name, the description, who uploaded it. Initially Base44 created like a lot of divs and boxes and a lot of space. I wanted to like make it a lot crisper. So you can see like what the content is, who uploaded it, the content itself, and then looks promising beneath that. And then, yeah, the other stuff I did is I created content from 3 separate accounts so it actually looks and feels like a real app. You can see again the bottom navigation here with the profile and the feed anchored, so I can go back to the feed at any point. Yeah, and those are pretty much the updates I've made. Plenty more I could do, and I won't do for now, but I think you can see how much progress I made in a relatively short period of time. More than anything though, it's all about the initial prompt. In my experience, it's all about that initial thing that you're asking for. And so I feel pretty confident in Mindshare and what it's currently behaving as, because that underlying data structure is pretty crisp. And that's all because that first prompt is very specific about what kind of underlying data structure I wanted. Hope you enjoyed. Feel free to go poke around and upload some content, or leave some crossed fingers or indicate what kind of guides that you're using right now. And Base44, if you need to know my bank details, let me know.